Hello.
Hello. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you for coming back. Welcome back. Day 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, day 2 of our graphic design stream with Mo Pacini. We had a lot of fun yesterday.
Yeah.
Working on a calendar and some beautiful illustrations. So we're going to continue that today. Mo's going to show even more of her process and it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Get through a few more months maybe.
Yes, we only did 2 months yesterday,
Yeah.
I think. So, well, we started a 3rd month.
Yeah, like
so
2.5 months.
We can probably do a bit more today. And as always, it was really nice to have your feedback and ideas.
Yes.
So feel free to tune in.
Yes, yeah, you guys had some great questions yesterday, so would love to hear more of those and just hear what you guys have to say. Let us know where you're watching from. I see some people jumping in the chat already. Tima, Lindsay, Jordan, Clarence, Voodoo Val, of course. Say hi. We would love to, know where you're watching from. It's so cool to see people from all over the world tuning in and participating. As always, today we have our creative challenge, so make sure that you watch the replay for that if you missed it. The challenge for today is to adjust an image color using curves in the HSL panel. So you can find that information right here in the challenge tab, which is right above the chat. And Mode will be offering some feedback and would love to see what you guys create. It's always so fun to see like everyone do something different. So make sure you submit. And then we also have a full schedule today, so we can take a look at that. Earlier today, like I mentioned, there was another Daily Creative Challenge, so you can watch the replay with Terry if you missed that. And then right now we're live until 11:30 with Mode. And then after that will be our XD Daily Creative Challenge, and then Fabio will be live with our XD case study. And I think he's working on a networking app for introverts. So it sounds like a fun project, and I'm really curious to see how it turns out. So make sure you stick around for that through the rest of the day. And then we also have our chat and win in about 30 minutes. So you'll have a chance to win some stickers. Or not stickers, gift card to moo.com, a $30 gift card, which is super awesome and super great. Yeah, you can make some really great business cards with that. You could make, I think they have like stationery, and they do have stickers and all those things. So
Yeah, the sticker is from them.
yes, yeah. So they're really great. So make sure you're active in the chat. You'll have a chance to win that. Thanks for saying hello, Philippa, Anthony. Well, cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull up Mode's work again. Make sure you go follow her on Instagram if you didn't get to it yesterday, because everything she posts is beautiful. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself again for anyone who wasn't here yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Mode. I'm a French graphic designer and illustrator. I moved from Paris to New York 5 years ago, and I've really been enjoying the New York design scene and meeting new people and super talented graphic designers here. I started by working at a studio for 4 years, where we did mostly branding, web design, and a lot of stuff. They're called Franklin. And then a year ago, I started my own studio where we do mostly branding, web design, packaging, and I also do illustration on the side. As you can see on my Instagram, I play around a lot with fun illustrations. This project is where I asked people to send me their mirror selfies with a caption sort of summarizing what was on their mind as they were taking the photo. And it's been a really nice project to collaborate people with. Today we're gonna keep going on the calendar, and I think it's a good opportunity for me to show how I work and how I mix techniques. So I do illustration on Photoshop, and then I bring on some collage, and then I sort of package it all together in Illustrator to make it user-friendly.
Perfect. Well, as always, make sure to ask questions. Mode is, like she said, she's freelance right now, so if you have questions about freelancing or anything about graphic design, her process, all of that, it's a great stream to ask all of those questions. So,
Yeah,
right.
you guys' questions yesterday were really interesting
They were
and
very
super.
good, yeah.
And it's also an opportunity for us to sort of think back and process the way we work. So
Yeah.
really interesting. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So I think, just I'll summarize what we did yesterday. So we
Yes.
quickly did January. This is a mix of textured collage and this is paper cuts. And then some lettering that we did on Photoshop. We also did October. We kind of used your color suggestions. Somebody
Love October.
suggested wheat, so I
Yes.
sort of draw wheat, if you can tell. And we started doing a summer month, so we were gonna probably do a stamp-like illustration of a shell. So I'll go back to Photoshop and grab my June month. So yeah, this white is not super visible on the background, but we'll see later how it goes.
See how it goes.
Yeah, so
Can always adjust it.
absolutely. Let's take this guy. We'll give it some texture. Yeah, I think I had another idea of the texture that I can do.
Oh yeah?
So basically, so like I said yesterday, I kind of want to do 12 months that sort of look like they belong together, but are varied enough that it's not boring month to month.
Yes.
So we try to vary the techniques and do some different things for each month. So for the shell,
So you drew the shell in Illustrator and then now you're copying it
Yes.
into Photoshop.
right, so I drew it with the brush tool. If you do a shape and then you hit Option, you can close the shape and then you have this solid color. It's super intuitive because I'm using a Wacom and I can draw anything just like pretty much like on paper. So
Yeah.
it saves me so much time. Like I said, I kind of like to do things in real life and like draw them on paper and do actual paper cuts and sometimes scan them to bring them into Photoshop. But if you're short on time or just want to play around with the computer, like Photoshop and Illustrator are really great tools to sort of imitate reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I created a mask that has the shell shape here. And so I can just make this disappear and then I'll fill the mask with a different color, sort of like that, except I want to use different texture, I think. So I downloaded these watercolor brushes a while ago.
Oh, that's
and I've been
fun.
using them so much ever since. Again, like it can look a bit stucky or fake if you don't use it properly, so I would encourage you to try and make it look like your own, but it's super helpful. So it's pretty big, but not too big that it looks super pixelized.
So you're basically painting in the shell with this brush.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure about the color. What did we say? What was the color palette for summer?
Let's see. Let's look at our mood board.
Yeah, so like these deep blue, a bit green.
That yellow is pretty too.
Yes, that's right. These are really light colors. Yellow and green and blue are nice. This is neutral, which is nice too.
Yeah, I like the grayish with that like light green sea glass color. It's
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah, I'll try to make the background a pretty light color so we can sort of do whatever we want on top. Like I said yesterday, I try to name my layers, but,
Yes, but
sometimes you
sometimes-
get carried.
Sometimes you just get in the flow and you forget.
Yeah, totally.
Do you typically eye your colors like that? Like do it by kind of like your sight and like what you think looks good?
Yeah. I mean, having a mood board is super helpful, but it like if I come and I like open my Illustrator file and like, oh, I have these three colors in mind and I think it's gonna
Yeah.
look great. It never looks exactly what you imagine, so you
Yeah.
have to adjust according to your mood or your whatever you want to convey in the specific design that you're
Yeah.
doing. So yeah, and it's I think it's fun when clients have ideas for colors because it sort of
Yeah.
sets also a constraint that makes you need to push what their vision, but try to make it even better, and
Right.
it's really constructive. So this is the watercolor texture. We can't really see it right now, but I'll fix that real quick. I think actually, yeah, white is nice. Maybe this should be just a bit darker. Yeah.
That's really pretty.
Yeah, what do you think?
I love the texture in there. So you got that just by like stamping the brush. You weren't like wiping it all the way through.
No, because this brush, and it's the case for a lot of Photoshop brushes, like when they have a specific shape like that, if you drag it, it's gonna look very strange. Like
Right.
It's not made, you know, like you can tell that it's repeated. So it's like a very nice stamp, and there you can mix it with like all the other stamps that you downloaded. Another option is the brush package that I was talking about yesterday.
Yes, the Kyle brushes.
Yes, it also has a watercolor texture.
Okay.
It's just not as not quite as organic. Like but it's interesting to like. It will like look like that, you know. So it doesn't have like these interesting edges and stuff, but it's like literally the texture of watercolor.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Another. I also like sometimes whenever I create a new texture, I keep it. I have all these textures, and I have some. I just once scanned just like a watercolor texture that I had, so I could also grab this and put it into the shell. But I think it's interesting to see also like what Photoshop has to offer.
Yeah. Well, you were talking yesterday about making it look like a stamp, and then kind of stamping the brush, and it makes it look even more like it's a stamp, and like the ink maybe didn't hit all of the paper or something.
So I think I'm happy with this like simple shell behind the name.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
I can try. I'll just try to see if like a pattern of shells works better, or if we just want to go back to that.
Okay.
If you have an opinion, I'm interested. This shell is not quite nice enough. I'll try to do a simplified version of this shell.
Okay.
So you said February is your favorite month of year?
Well, February is when my birthday is, so it's a pretty good month.
Yeah.
But I think I like the changing of the seasons more than I
like
the actual seasons. Like I like most seasons, but I like the transition time because it's kind of I'm ready for something new. You know,
Absolutely.
after 3 months or 4 months of summer, I'm ready for cooler weather. But then at the end of winter, I'm ready for summer again. So
For sure.
yeah, what's
And
your
do
favorite?
you? Well, I love winter. December is my birthday month too, so I kind of have a weakness for winter. But
Yes.
summer in New York is so extraordinary. It's so hot, and you could do anything. So I kind of like it too, I guess.
Yeah, that's fun.
But I do find myself like very inspired by the changes of seasons and wanted to use a different color palette and design new stuff. So
Yeah. Can wear clothes that you haven't worn in a little while and just feels fresh. I love that technique. That's so cool.
yeah, I did something similar for my wedding invitations with eucalyptus leaves, and it was fun.
Sounds
That's how I
beautiful.
sort of developed this technique.
We have about 15 minutes until Chat and Win, so make sure you guys are in the chat. You'll have a chance to win a gift card to Moo.com. $30 gift card. You can make so many things with that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with one shell
Just
in
the
the
one.
middle.
Yeah.
Let's do that for now. I'll try to keep a clean artboard, so I might delete these, but
Okay.
I'll try to keep at least one in case I need to use them again. It's really helpful.
Yes,
Always
not have
keep
to
everything.
redraw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So June was here. It doesn't look super centered, does it?
Yeah. It's so hard to tell, like, when there's
Yeah.
something where it's like taller on one side and then shorter. I feel like it's really hard to tell if it's centered.
Let's keep it that way for now.
That looks good.
And since I import it as a link, it updates on its
update.
own. which
That's
is
so nice.
So convenient.
Yes.
Yeah, so like June is much simpler than the others, but it kind of feels still like in the same
Yeah.
vein.
You can always add more later once all the other months are done and see.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
And I think I decided what I'm going to do. So since I'm not sure I'll be able to do the 12-month by the end of year,
Yeah.
I thought I would release each month a new JPEG that people can download. I'll try to put a link on my Instagram or something. So maybe
that's
like, in
wonderful.
January I'll release like the first 3 months and then try to
Yeah.
release each month, like maybe 2 months in advance.
Yeah, because people don't need, October and January.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be able to plan stuff, but usually, you only have a few things like so
Yeah.
ahead of time.
Heidi is asking if you make calendars every year and how would you print them?
I tried making one last year. I didn't get time, so it's the first one that I would do
Yeah.
fully. For printing, it's a good question. Because like whenever I look at services that offer calendar printing, it usually comes with like their own binding and stuff, which are usually beautiful enough for me, so for my taste. So I would print it on a beautiful paper. I love Printful. They're pretty good at posters and stuff, and maybe a couple other places that I can think of. Moo, obviously, if they do this size, and then I'll just bind it with like a very nice. How do you call that? I don't know the name, but like something to keep it together.
Yeah, like a little clip or something.
A clipper, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm tired.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Just like a beautiful clipper that you can hang or something, and it's like pretty easy, like DIY.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You want to make it look like yours.
So if you missed yesterday, this was a calendar template that Maud found online. So she has all the dates
Yes.
and everything for each month. But then she's redesigning it so that it's more beautiful.
Yeah, and like we said, Illustrator is super convenient to bring in some type and choose your, like any vector elements. And I will show you also, I try to do a quick lettering in Illustrator for each, if there's like a specific holiday or date within the month that we're working on.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the bindings that come with most calendars.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's a place that does that. I would love to know.
Yes. Then just add dropping the text
Yeah.
to get those numbers exactly the same.
Creating a quick brush that is the size that I like and has the nice pressure variation. And I'm setting up my brush to semi-smooth, so
Okay.
it's not too, otherwise it gets very sketchy.
Yeah, especially when you make it so small.
Day feels much bigger.
Yeah. Here we go.
So here is June for
Beautiful. That was so fast.
Yeah, quick and simple.
Ludivelle says her handwriting is so awesome. It is. You have beautiful handwriting.
Thank you. But yeah, like I said, it's easy to, you draw something, you can adjust any curves or anything, so Illustrator is pretty awesome for that. And the Wacom tablet is super helpful, obviously.
Yeah. Is that your natural handwriting, or did you kind of develop that style over time?
It's like a refined version of my handwriting, I guess. Like I can try to make it more calligraphy-like, which would be, I would make a bigger effort, but here it's pretty much my handwriting, but I think your handwriting varies depending on the surface. Yeah. So like on paper, sometimes it looks scrappy because it's like with a crappy pen or anything big.
That's very true.
And it's so satisfying to just write big letters on the computer and see them appear.
Yes, it is. It's very soothing.
Yeah. So we should do spring now, I guess. So
We haven't done a spring month yet.
Any thoughts on spring, I guess. May is cool, but it can be warm enough for summer. Maybe April is a good spring month. No. Where are my documents? Mood board. So yeah, for spring, I think I was not as inspired. I only found like 2 photos that I thought were cute, and this one could even be qualified as full, I guess. But
but the colors are kind of spring.
Yeah, totally. I think we're gonna deep dive into the pink area for this one, which is a color that I really like, and I don't think it's too girly or anything. I think it's really cool, and I think it's supposed to be calming too. So
yeah. Oh, Heidi says you could do tulips.
Oh yeah, good idea.
And kind of beautiful flowers.
Tulips. Let's find a reference because I'm not the best at flowers. So, but yeah, I think the petals, like the big petals, can be really pretty.
Yeah.
This is just a reference image, so I don't forget what tulips look like.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's find a background color. I said maybe we should try pink, yeah.
Yeah, like a beautiful pink. Gotta save the file right away.
Yeah. Yeah, like Illustrator has a very good auto saving feature, which has saved my life more than a few times. But yeah.
I love that color.
Yeah, me too. It's a bit dusty, like slightly gray, which makes it really interesting.
Yeah, a little cooler on the pink.
I think I'll try and do sort of like a paper collage or some kind of solid texture for the petals, and then draw the leaves.
Yeah, the leaves are really pretty too. Like the shape is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Okay, I'll start with the lettering as usual for April. April? Did you say April?
April.
April. Oh.
Yeah.
So my favorite brush for this is the wet charcoal in the ink drawing box, I think. Yeah, wet charcoal. I can smooth it to 20%. It helps keeping like Yeah, smooth letters.
Not as chalky.
Yeah.
I can't believe you can do that on one try. I feel like whenever I try to do lettering like that, it takes me so many tries. To
Yeah,
get it
it's
right.
not always like that, but
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah. And I mean, the irregularities and mistakes can be beautiful too.
Yes,
so
that is true. That is true.
no need to stress too much. What texture do we want to use? Like,
Oh.
I'll try to see if I have something interesting. Paper grunge. I have actual paper cuts.
Oh, that's fun.
I'll use that.
Is that something that you scanned in?
Yes, and I've been using them so much. Well, I think I scanned like white paper, but then
Okay.
I added, and I
Oh, you
added
added
a
a
color. So
color.
ideally, you would scan the actual paper color that you need, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it can work as well. Because like these rough edges are really nice.
Yeah, those
really
are beautiful.
real.
So you just tore that paper yourself and then...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was aiming for like a variety of shapes
Mm-hmm.
that I knew would be useful in many different situations.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been very useful. Okay, so since this is obviously, actually I scanned yellow paper. I turned
Okay.
it white then,
And then
so I could use
added-
it for many different colors. And then
Yes.
added a color.
Yes.
So I'll make it white, flatten it so it's easy to copy, and then we'll add the color on top of it.
For your brush that you had earlier, you had 20% smoothing on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Jimmy is asking if you had smoothing on.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's not necessary, and sometimes it's super helpful. Depends on the style that you want to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Heidi's asking if you've tried Photoshop for iPad yet.
No, I really want
new.
to. I think
Yeah.
I went to the Apple Store just once to. Yeah, I wanted to invest in an iPad and see how Photoshop works, and I think it's really amazing. And for me, I would certainly use it more for like letterings like that, or
Yeah.
make sort of illustration, like sketchy illustrations, and it works very well in both cases. So I think it's nice. If you guys have tried it, let me know.
Yes. Yeah, so you were writing with a stylus, right? You have a tablet.
the Wacom tablet.
Yeah, so not with a mouse.
No, yeah, I
She
think
was
it would be
asking
much
if you wrote
harder.
with your mouse or a pen, and you wrote a pen.
So I can just adjust the shape of this paper cut so it looks more like a petal, but yeah. Let's do that.
And you're using the lasso tool to remove
Yeah,
that.
it's like a really quick way to just select things when you don't. If you want to be like more specific and like clean,
use
you
the
can use the
pen.
pen. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of options.
Do you have any suggestions on how to improve handwriting? Asked Fabio.
I mean, practice obviously.
Yeah.
I think maybe you should like get a calligraphy book and sort of learn about the traditional techniques of calligraphy, because I had calligraphy classes and it's actually a bit more specific that you would think. Like they have rules on how, like, which way to draw each part of the letter. So sometimes they would make you draw like first this stroke of the A and then the second stroke. It has to go a certain way. They help you like sort of control the thickness of your stroke depending on the pressure and the tool you use. So I think like maybe on Skillshare you could find like calligraphy classes or this kind of thing. I highly recommend that. And then practice. And and you also have to sort of, I think, just also accept your own handwriting and sort of create your own style from there instead of just trying to have like a very clean calligraphy style or something. Just really trust yourself.
Yeah, that's great advice. Skillshare is awesome for those kinds of things.
Yeah.
We are going to do chat and win. So hop in the chat, say hello. You'll have a chance to win a gift card to moo.com, and we will be right back. welcome back. We are waiting to hear who is going to win our gift card to mood.com. And also there is a survey in the chat. If you want to fill it out, let us know what you want to see on Adobe Live. We would love to have your feedback. And if you fill that out, you'll have a chance to win a Creative Cloud membership. So make sure you guys fill that out. It'd be super helpful for us. And thanks for saying hi.
Yeah, so many people there.
Yes, so many people. Cool. Gonna see who's gonna win. Jordan says ready to win. Paloma, congratulations. So you will get a message on Behance about how you can redeem your gift card. And then if you did not win, you can go to this link, mood.com/Adobe Live. You can get 15% off your order. And make sure to check it out. They're really great. I use them for my gift or my business cards, and
I do as well. And
they're very high quality. Yes, yeah. So definitely go check them out. You can really customize everything, which I really like. And they also have really good templates too, if you don't want to customize everything. And thank you guys for asking questions. If we missed a question, make sure to ask it again, because everything went so fast during Chat and Win, so we might not have had a chance to see it. But keep them coming, and then make sure to submit to the Daily Creative Challenge. The challenge for today is to adjust the color of your image using curves and the HSL levels. So definitely submit that. You'll get some feedback today. And it's really fun. It's fun to see what everyone makes. And
yeah, it's fun for us to see what you guys come
yes,
up with.
we want to see your work. So make sure to submit. Anthony is asking, what is the typical day of a freelance designer? Do you have a typical day?
No, I think the short answer is there is no typical
Yes.
day. I think at first, like for the first few months, I was really trying to have the same kind of schedule as I did at my old job, like work from 9 to 6 and do like exercise or other things around that.
Yeah.
But now I'm much better at sort of, scheduling my day around my work or my meetings or what I want to do that day. And so I try to exercise in the morning, and then I can do meetings and work. And sometimes I will work like a 10-hour day, and sometimes it will be much shorter. Which is a huge chance to be able to sort of, schedule your days depending on your needs and stuff. So, but yeah, there's a lot of management work and a bit less like the calm just designing for hours than I thought. But it comes with the job. Like,
yes.
it's
Because
so
you're the project manager and the client manager and
exactly.
doing all the admin work and the business side of things as well as the designing. So
totally. I'm starting to get some help on these. Like I have part-time people helping me, but for now it's mostly me, so it's a lot of responsibilities. But it's fun. If you want to jump into freelancing design, I really highly recommend it, obviously.
Yeah. What would you recommend for someone who wants to get into freelancing? Like, what would be some steps that maybe they could take to move that direction?
I think having sort of developing your own style and putting things up on your portfolio that really represent what you want to do and your style is really important. And in order to sort of create a client list, also like try to meet people, accept freelance work if you can on the side of your job, and don't be afraid to take risks and do the big jump once you're not quite ready, because if you wait to be ready, you'll probably never do it.
Yeah, you'll never feel ready.
Yeah.
It's really good advice.
Thank you.
Marissa is asking if someone who's left-handed can do calligraphy.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yes.
I know it gives some challenges because we write from left to right in this country, but no, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you'll be super talented.
Oh, this is a great question. Darren is asking, what are your must-have apps to manage your day, like calendar, notes, all of those kinds of things? Like, how do you organize when you have so many things going on?
Yeah, I made like an Excel calendar, like I sort of personalized where I could like sort of plan my week. And it didn't require buying an app. I don't have any
like your own.
Yeah, I sort of make my own. Excel is nice for that. I do use Trello for remember like to-do lists.
Yeah.
It's super helpful. And for like accounting and stuff, my husband set me up a really nice Excel sheet that it's super organized. I know that I can keep track of everything.
Yes.
And
that's very important.
But mostly I use my notebook and I just write everything down.
Yeah.
It's not an app, but it's super. It's much easier to get organized, I guess.
Yes.
It's the one thing that you keep doing. Some people can write with both hands. Yeah, I wish.
I cannot.
No.
If I write with my left hand, it looks terrible.
Yeah, but sometimes it's once when I was at art school, I sort of drew like I was trying to do like a sort of rough style, and my teacher told me, "Oh, it looks like you draw with your left hand," which was supposed to be a compliment. So, but yeah, I think sometimes the roughness and the sketchiness can be interesting too.
Did you ever have to do contour drawing in your art classes, like blind contour, where you close your eyes? My teacher had us do it like close your eyes, do it with your right hand, and then close your eyes and do it with your left hand, and it was so hard.
Yeah,
it looks nothing like how you think it's gonna look when you open your eyes.
It's so fascinating. But again, like it's a great technique to sort of try and explore other styles.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I loved also, they made us draw without lifting the pencil.
Yes, just
and
one
I try to do
line,
that sometimes.
like a shell usually or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, with like lots of lines in it.
It's really cool.
Yeah, we had to do that too. Anthony is asking, how do you set your prices as a freelance designer?
I think the easiest way at first was to set my hourly rate and try to calculate how long I'm going to spend doing that. And you really have to take into account the email exchanges, like not just the work.
Just designing.
The email exchanges, like if you're going to go somewhere, like the travel times, the invoice making, everything.
Yeah.
And just, you have to stick to it. Like sometimes it's really easy to lower your price and just say yes to anything, but unless like the client is super special and like they are an incredible product that you want to work with, I think it's really important to stick to your prices.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the hourly rate is a good way to begin, but then you can increase your price depending on like the value of what you're delivering.
Your skill and your experience over time.
Exactly.
Your prices should increase even if it takes you less time because you're
'cause,
faster now.
Yeah.
But you have more skill and you bring more value to their company.
And like if you're designing a logo, you can't just make it the price that you're going to spend on it, because it's something that has a lot of value for a brand.
Yes.
It's their number one thing that everybody's going to see. So this exposure is priceable too.
Yeah.
It's very important to take that into account.
If you're just joining us, Mode is working on a calendar. So working on the month of April right now.
Yeah.
A spring month.
I have a few months already, and
yes.
I am inspired by tulips for April.
Yes, and you can see yesterday she showed those other months, January and October, and then started June.
Yeah.
If you want to watch the replay of that, that's available. But yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah.
Fun to see you work.
Thank you.
I love how it looks like actual paper cutouts.
Yeah.
Did you do like a little shadow? I didn't even see
Yeah,
you
I
do
just
that.
added the
You
shadow.
did so quick.
I think Photoshop is pretty good at that. Like it looks pretty natural.
It does. It looks very natural.
Yeah. Like I don't think my original file has any shadows anymore. So I add them, and it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I wonder if each petal should have a different color. Yeah, maybe I should try just like variations
it's
of
light.
pink.
Yeah. Yeah, Darian says, I feel like logos are the most undervalued assets a company can acquire. You could spend years with the same design.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, they should really value that and put a lot of effort into developing a really good logo.
Yeah, and like whenever I I see, like for example, I'll quote my work for someone and they'll be like, oh, it's too expensive. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go with someone who's cheaper. Great for them, obviously, but sometimes people realize that, well, investing more money is worth it. I mean, it's an obvious statement to make, like more expensive things can be just better quality.
You get what you pay for.
But
yeah.
I mean, I feel like it was a very pretentious thing to say, but,
No, but
what I mean is
true. Yeah.
things have value.
Yeah. No, I think it's true. I think you should like put value into the work that you do, and like, yes, somebody may be cheaper, but that probably means most likely they have less experience.
Less experience, yeah.
And so it's not like, not necessarily that they're bad, but they just may not even like think through all the things that you think through when you have more experience. And
I'm not the person who has the most experience
course.
either, so I'm really happy when people
Of
also
course.
go to someone who's more experienced than me.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah. This almost looks like Valentine's Day or
It
something.
kind of does, the colors.
Yeah.
And it almost is like a heart shape.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try to add the leaves and we'll see if it looks
Maybe it will
weird.
help make it. I think that could help, adding in the green, make it a little bit.
So for drawing like that, I like to take the smoothing out.
Okay.
I'm just doing...
It's so relaxing.
I think it's maybe too much design. Yeah, I just want to keep it simpler.
I love that you mix different mediums too, so like the paper cutouts and then mixing it with drawing.
Yeah.
To have different textures, and the project is really fun.
Yeah, and it's more fun for you too, so
Yeah.
everybody wins.
Yes, that's true. We have about 45 minutes until our Daily Creative Challenge feedback, so make sure you submit. And yeah, show us how you are altering the color in your images. Nora says, if a client says no and feels like you're charging too much, let them go, and one day they'll come back to you eventually. That does happen.
Yeah, for sure. And
Sometimes they just don't have budget at that time, and then their company grows a little bit, and then they can come back to you.
yeah, I really appreciate when clients are like, we can't afford that right now, and we don't
Yes.
want to like disrespect your work by trying to make you go lower. So we'll
Yes.
just keep you in mind for next time, and that's
Yeah.
just the most professional way to go. and it's
Yeah,
really nice.
absolutely.
And it's like that most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
People are very respectful of our work.
Yeah, I think pricing is probably one of the hardest parts.
Yeah, is that
Of
something
the,
that you talk about a lot on your
freelancer.
blog?
We haven't talked too much. We have a little bit, just kind of like why we, price the way that we do, all the factors that go into it. But, sometimes I'll get messages from people asking how should I price this project? But it's really hard to give an exact price without knowing their experience level,
Yeah.
without knowing, too much about the project. So I try not to give too specific
Yeah,
advice,
exactly.
but I think it seems to be like something that almost everyone who's a freelancer struggles with.
Yeah, I used to email my friends.
It's really hard.
I have no idea how to price that.
Yes.
Like, what do you do? And nobody knows. Like, you
Yeah.
sort of make up your own prices. And
Yes.
that's how you find out if it works or not.
And
And
you can kind of test it with different projects and see how it goes.
yeah, totally. I've listened a lot to Jenna Kutcher's podcast.
Yes,
And she basically
Gold
has,
Digger? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Gold Digger.
she has this amazing philosophy of you shouldn't compare your prices to your peers because your experience and your needs are wildly different to the next person. So she's like super confident in telling you to just like make up your own prices.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. And what you feel good about, you know, because maybe what you feel good about is not what someone else would feel good about for whatever reason.
Yeah, like when you know, sometimes I know that I could price more, but I don't feel comfortable with that. So it's as long as it covers my expenses, it's perfect. And and also I worked with freelancing females. It's it's an amazing website.
Yeah, they have the whole pricing sheet,
and they have a
right?
pricing sheet. Yeah,
It's really helpful. You can see what people price for whatever service you offer in your area with whatever experience level. You can kind of compare, like, you know, maybe somebody in New York is going to charge differently than someone
for sure.
and, you know, somewhere else, but also like experience plays into it. There's so many factors. So
there's like they take into account the hourly rate or the project rate.
Yes,
and I think your location is
It's very helpful.
Super helpful.
Paloma's asking the name of the podcast. So it's called Gold Digger, GOALDIGGER, and it's Jenna Kutcher. It's her.
I really she's so motivating. I'm so grateful for this woman.
Yes, she has so many great episodes of so many different topics. Like she kind of covers, like, she was a wedding photographer, right?
Yeah, which is so interesting. Yeah. She was a wedding photographer, so I think her advice applies to us too. Like you obviously as a photography studio, and me as a
thank you.
designer,
I'll put the link in there again, right
awesome,
there,
thank
so
you
guys can see it, and the link for freelancing females. Thank you. So helpful. Yeah, resources like that are just invaluable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Richard says you could do colorful balloons for August. It's an idea for the August month.
Yeah, I can. And it's a great way to play around with colors, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like sometimes even if you have an idea in mind and you know where you want to go, like, it will always take some time. So I'm taking my time with this month.
It takes its own shape.
Yeah, you need to think about it and try things.
Yeah, I think so many mediums are like that. You have an idea in your head of, like, this is what this is going to be, and then once you actually do it, it maybe turns into something completely different. Or I know, like, in our shoots, sometimes images that I think, like, oh, this shot is going to be so easy, it ends up taking so much time because it doesn't look right or whatever. And then images that I'm like, okay, this is going to be challenging, sometimes are, like, so easy.
Yeah, for sure.
So it just, what's in your mind sometimes doesn't translate the way you think, and you have to figure out how to adjust or how to work with it.
But it's a good exercise, and I think one thing that helps. I know that the reason why we were taught drawing so much at school is because it's really the first way that you will picture something in your mind and try to translate it on paper. So it's just a really great exercise for your brain.
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab my notebook to sort of sketch out the layout that I want this to take.
Let's see. I think this is the great thing about doing personal projects too, because when you're doing personal projects, you're not under a time crunch, you're not working for a client, you're not going to be, there's no, like, penalties if it goes wrong. And so you can kind of play around, you can kind of test things or figure out what works, try new techniques, experiment. And I think that helps you grow so much as a designer or whatever your medium is. And it also helps then later when you work with clients, you can apply those things.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
you know,
this new technique that you sort of teach yourself, it's very often useful for the client. And sometimes client will point out to a specific project that you made for yourself and be like, oh, I love that. So I'm super grateful whenever I'm like, oh yeah, I was right to take the time to do that. So
yeah, and learn troubleshooting too. That will help save you time later when you work with, you know, clients and you can't.
So I think, I'm going to actually sketch here because it's kind of like my notebook, I guess. I could do that. It's just like I need somewhere where I can mess around really quick. What I liked about the tulips is that they have petals that are solid colors that we can mix with with the illustration, but right now what I don't like on this is it feels too complicated. I want something
Okay.
simpler. I think, yeah, like January was a good example where it was just a leaf and a shape. So maybe I could do something like that. And is it a pattern or is it... maybe we should reverse it and it's the leaves that are the solid paper cut.
Okay.
And the petals are illustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll try that and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, that's a great way to try something a different way and see
Yeah.
what it looks like, how it turns out.
So I'll grab another paper texture that's easy to work with. The one I saved for this. And a tulip. Yeah, tulips are nice because they're so vertical and straight. I think that's what I should keep in mind.
Okay. Oh, that's really pretty.
Yeah, I don't know if it looks like a leaf yet, but we'll see.
That's so helpful. Just to so quickly, easily erase something like that.
Yeah. Just a quick sketch.
Okay. Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, I think it's prettier than the paper cuts. You know how sometimes it's you had an idea and it's kind of hard to let it go. Like you're so attached
it's
to
so
that
hard
and you
for
thought it
me
was good.
all the time.
But yeah, I love the idea of the petals in paper cuts, but I think this is gonna look better.
Yeah, yeah. I think sometimes you do have to go with like your gut and what you know just looks better, even if in your mind something else is
Yeah.
more ideal. But it is really hard to let that go. I struggle with that.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's tough. You're right that this is like much simpler.
Yeah, and I think we should keep it simple. Like, I like that there's no stem. I think it's not that way for now. It's it might compete with the word a little bit, but we'll like.
You could even do like you
layout.
did in January, where the text kind of like goes in and out of the leaves.
Yeah, totally.
That'd be fun. Ludivine says it looks wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I'll do a second one.
And you're using the lasso tool to cut that out of the paper.
Yeah.
Paper texture. Did you scan that texture in, or did is that
I
one
bought
you
it.
found? Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, so the lasso you can do with polygon, or like this, the one that where you can really trace it is so helpful. Like we said,
Yeah.
to go quick and follow your hand. It's super helpful. Up.
Beautiful.
And I'm gonna try and draw a different tulip. Yeah, and we can play with transparency when
Yes.
it goes over the leaves.
Yeah. I love these colors too, like the green. I feel like it looks less Valentine's Day with the green
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
not the red.
Yeah, totally. And
Yeah.
green and pink are just two colors that always go well together. Like, yeah, when I don't know where to go, like sometimes it's just I'll
It's a
know that
good
this combination is nice.
Yeah, it's a very good combination. Very soothing.
Yeah.
Heidi says, so cool. Thanks so much for using my suggestion of tulips. It's looking so
Oh
great.
yeah, who suggested? Oh
Heidi.
yeah, Heidi. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, I really didn't
You
think
had
that
a
people would
great
be so
idea.
full. That's amazing.
Yes, Vida Val is reminding us 33 minutes till design feedback. So make sure that you submit. There's a challenge tab right above the chat. You can get information. You can watch the replay if you missed Terry's demonstration from this morning. But the challenge for today is to change the colors in an image using curves and HSL levels. So it's pretty fun challenge. So now you're just you're erasing out. Are you masking it?
No, yeah, so I'm using the
Yeah,
brush
okay.
on a mask.
Yes.
So
So that you could delete the mask if you need to,
Exactly.
or erase parts of the mask. It's not gone forever. Like if you just
Yeah.
erase it with the eraser.
yeah, that's super helpful. Like I try and like to never do any definite erasing or anything on a Photoshop file.
Yes.
You
can't go
always want to
very
go back.
easily. Anthony says, awesome work.
Thank you.
So do you have tips as a freelancer? Like how do you get clients? How do you kind of build up your portfolio when you're getting started?
Yeah, so I think at first when I was still working at Franklin, obviously like Franklin was so nice, they would always put my name on the work that I did, so it gave me a lot of exposure. Then I had people reach out through my own Instagram. Instagram is huge for that, and
You're posting
Pinterest.
your work onto
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, I was posting both personal projects or projects that I was doing at Franklin or for sometimes my own French clients. So I think, yeah, like being really just present online and having a website and really showing that I was up to take new clients really helped. And people started inquiring so much that I felt like I was ready to eventually go on my own.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think post anything that you think represents your style, and it's okay if it's not perfect. Your portfolio should be only the project that you really think represent you and what you want to do. So
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, someone asked yesterday if they should only keep certain projects or like keep everything to show how much they grew, and I am of the opinion to only keep what you think is really what you want to do next and not
in your
necessarily
portfolio.
the past. Yeah. And your Behance and everything.
Yeah, yeah. And then now, how do you get clients? Like as you're fully freelance.
Yeah, now there's a lot of recommendations,
Yeah.
word of mouth, and people reference me if it goes well with a client, which usually it goes because you really want to please them and be a great partner for them.
Yeah.
Then they'll recommend you to other people, and it's
Yeah.
a great way to make new contacts.
Yeah, that's the best way because there's already like a level of trust there. That person
Yeah,
trusts
yeah.
the
People
client
really
that's
trust
recommending
their
you.
friends.
So
And, yeah. And I would say like something so helpful too is the communities that I belong to, like freelancing
Yes.
females. I'm on something called Creative Lady Directory.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Behance is cool, and
Yeah, Behance
that's
is
how. Yeah, the more people you meet, the more industries you'll be exposed to and stuff.
Yes. Fatima's asking, after you make a selection, how do you fill it? So, like, if you had those leaves, for example, how did you fill them with that color?
Yeah, usually I do. I make a new layer. I do the selection, and on my keyboard I can do Shift F5, but I don't know how to do it on a laptop. So if you know, I would be interested.
Yeah, I don't
Otherwise,
know
it's
either on a
edit,
laptop.
fill, and then either your like a random color, foreground color, which is on your palette on the left, or background color. So if you do color, then you can just choose whichever,
Any color.
and that makes a new layer. This one was hidden because it was so below, but yeah, it's really quick.
Yeah, very easy. And that's how you could fill content aware too if you wanted to like fill in like a spot in a photo or something that you wanted to like,
Yeah,
you know, you have like a sky that you need to extend or something like that. You can fill it
absolutely.
that way as well. And if you notice, there is a viewer survey in the chat. Voodoo Val's dropped the link a couple times, and I think it's also up at the top. So make sure you guys fill that out. It'd be really helpful to hear what you guys think about Adobe Live. If you have any feedback, any suggestions, and you'll have a chance to win a CC subscription. So make sure that you fill that out. Oh, Michael says it's Shift plus function plus F5.
Oh,
just
great.
up top.
I'll try it. So, Shift function here in 5.
And 5. No.
It's not working for me, but
Maybe
I'm not hitting
maybe
the
on
right
a
keys.
PC because you have a Mac.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Paint bucket. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
you can just like also just color with your brush.
Yeah. Many ways to do the same thing. Yeah, Anthony says when it comes to freelance, it's all about networking with other people and putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's very true. Because even if you're networking within your own industry, you may meet people who will then refer you or who you can learn from, who you could collaborate with. And then if you're networking outside your industry, that's a great way to make client
Yeah,
connections as
absolutely.
well.
So it's just
Beautiful.
it probably needs a third one, or
Yeah,
it doesn't
maybe to
feel
balance
balanced.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're wondering where you can submit your challenge, right above the chat, there is a challenge tab. So if you look up at the very top, it says challenge, you can click there and it'll have the information about what the challenge is. You can get the starter file if you want that. And then it also has a little link to join Discord, which is where you'll submit the challenge and where you'll get feedback. So all the information that you need right above the chat. It's very helpful. If you're just joining us, Maud is a graphic designer, freelancer, illustrator from New York, and she's working on a calendar today using Photoshop and then finishing it up in Illustrator.
We're almost done with April, and then we can jump to a new month. So if you have any
Yes.
suggestions,
Let us know what month she should work on next. And yes, please feel free to ask questions. If you have questions about graphic design, about freelancing, about Photoshop, about Mode's process, all of those things. Love to hear what you guys are thinking. Oh, Marissa says December. That's fun because December is coming up.
Yeah, we
I can't
should do
believe that. Oh, September, Bluebell says.
Well, we did October, so we should.
That's
well,
true. That's kind of close to
yeah, December can be fun.
December. Yeah. I think December is fun because it's winter, but it's very different from January.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
January has a very different feel than December.
For sure.
Yes. Julia's asking, are you filling in the petals, the leaves, by placing a rectangle behind the mask?
Yeah, yeah. So it's actually
The
in front
leaves.
of, for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is just a solid green rectangle that I clipped or, just like applied
clipped.
only to the leaves.
Mm-hmm. So you can clip it to the layer below, and then it will apply it only to that
If you
specific
hit
layer.
option. Yeah.
Option and then click, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Darian says there should be a month called Mode because you're doing such a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Yeah, February is a good one too. Fatima says February with warm colors and hearts. Could be fun. Yeah, Shane is asking where I submit my challenge. So you can submit your challenge right above the chat. There's a tab that says challenge. If you look at the very top, you click on that and you'll have all the information you need. You can join Discord there. There's a little link to join that, and there's a link with the starter file and all the information about the challenge. And make sure you submit. We have about 20 minutes left, and we would love to hear or see what you guys create. And you'll get a chance to hear some feedback from Mode and give each other feedback as well. So it's a really great way just to like practice your skills and learn just by participating in challenges like that, and getting feedback on your work is super important to grow.
Yeah, that's what, like we said, just practice even for yourself and try new things. So
Yeah, it'll give you confidence and help you just like, sometimes when you're working on things, it's hard to see where you need to improve, and somebody with fresh eyes can give some feedback, and that helps a lot. And then also getting confidence, like having someone say you did a great job is really it's really nice.
yeah.
Oh, that looks so nice with the three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it feels more like
Yeah.
balanced. And it kind of reminds me of the oranges from January.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
That's nice. Yeah, let's keep it that way for now, and I'll just sort of work on the type interacting with the leaves, the flowers, and then
Yes.
it should look good.
That's really fun.
Yeah, and it looks so different immediately by just doing that. You know, it gives
It
volume
makes it more
and
have
depth.
dimension. Like,
Yeah.
or it makes it have more dimension.
Yeah, totally.
What am I trying to say? But yeah, it makes it feel like it has shape because it looks like now it's like wrapping around. Thank you, Marissa, for submitting your survey. Yes, for the upcoming challenge, Emily is asking if it's Photoshop, and I believe it's Photoshop and Lightroom. You could use either one. So what inspired you to do your selfie illustrations?
So I started by doing my own mirror selfie one day where I needed to find new ideas of things to illustrate, and I just wanted to get out of a creative rut of not knowing which way to go with illustration, and it really resonated with people. And I think secretly I always had, I didn't really post it, but I kind of loved sort of remembering the moment of when I was taking this photo and what was going on in my mind and everything.
Yeah.
So I didn't post like the full details, but it was kind of like a journal to have like an illustration of myself for so many days of the year.
That's so
and
cool.
I figured it would be super interesting to involve people, and I would love to hear what people think when they take this photo. And so it was very, very nice to jump on illustrating other people, and I have had like a lot of submissions. I'm almost done because I also closed the submissions because otherwise it would have gone on forever.
Too crazy, yeah.
So I am almost done with the like the few dozens of submissions that I had, and I'm not sure what I'll do next with it. So I was thinking of doing a design using these illustrations, or
that'd be
a
fun.
book or something. But yeah, it was exciting, and I'm really grateful that everybody participated so much.
Yeah.
And
I could see that being a really cute coffee table book.
yeah.
Or like a cute little, like, I don't know, something that you'd flip through at someone's house.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who would be the most interested in buying it, but I think the captions and what people say really adds a lot of depth and
That's
interest
really cool.
to the whole project. It's really
fun. You can see some of those on Mode's Instagram, which is Mode Pacini. Yeah, make sure to go follow her and check out her work. It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
It's really fun.
Okay, I'm remembering where I was. So I was trying to erase that
Distracting you
part.
with
No,
questions.
that's okay. It's really interesting.
It's so hard. It's so hard to work and talk at the same time. You're doing a great job.
I mean, I do work and listen to podcasts
Yes.
a lot, so I'm sure like my brain now can do
Multitask
these
better.
two things.
Do you have any other podcast recommendations besides Gold Digger?
Yes, for business advice, for example, I'll try to think of it because I don't have any ideas immediately.
Off the top of your head. Have you listened to How I Built This?
Yes, I've loved some episodes like. Yeah, it's really cool. Which ones did you like in
I
particular?
listened to, well, I thought the Steve Madden one was really interesting because he
Oh.
went through a bunch of things I didn't realize that he went through. And I listened to the one about Away, the Away suitcases. What's her
Oh,
name?
wow.
I'm blanking on the girl's name who started it.
Isn't it two people? I thought it was two women, but maybe it's
it's-
just one. But
Yeah, I think he just interviewed one girl. Maybe she did have a partner, but that one was interesting. It's really cool. They tell the story. They have the founders of companies. There was Burt's Bees was an interesting one too.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to hear how people get started and have a tiny little idea and how it grows, and sometimes it goes a direction they weren't even expecting. But
Yeah,
it's really cool
totally.
to listen to like how other people started their business. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rose asking what are the names of the podcast. So the first one that we were talking about is Gold Digger, GOALDIGGER with Jenna Kutcher, and then How I Built This is another one.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
I'll try to think of like, because I love when basically they interview creative people
Yes.
about their process and everything. But I'm blanking right now.
That's okay. You're trying to do too many things at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. If any of you guys have suggestions for creative or freelancing podcasts, let
Oh
us
yeah,
know too,
I'm more
'cause
than
I'm
happy
always
to
looking
hear.
for new things to
Yeah,
listen
me
to.
too. I love listening to Audible books too.
Yes, yeah.
It's so interesting.
Adding in the days and the days of the week.
Yeah, and again.
And now you're over in Illustrator.
Right, and I'm using the same type styles that I was using for the other months, which is really made easy in Illustrator. So
Yes. You can just eyedrop the text to apply it. Ludval says, I love audiobooks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you listen to any good ones recently?
I haven't listened to any good audiobooks recently. I did just read, it's freelancing book that was super helpful, but I read it. There's not an audio version.
Okay.
But it's Freelance and Business and Stuff, and it's by the Chutzpah twins, who actually have had their own streams on Adobe Live, I think 2 or 3 times, maybe at least 2 times. They're graphic designers, and that was a very helpful book if you're looking for freelance advice.
Yeah. What are their names?
Their names are Jen and Amy Hood, and their business is called Chutzpah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah, they wrote a book all about freelancing that was really helpful, but I haven't listened to any. I've been on such a podcast kick. I haven't listened to any books lately, but
You have enough podcasts to
yeah, now I have like so many that I'm probably never gonna get through them all. But yeah, have you listened to any good books?
I love listening to memoirs. I recently listened to De Memoirs memoir.
Oh, was it good?
I'm not sure what the name, but it's one of the best audiobooks I've heard.
Really?
It's just so
Does
interesting.
she read it herself, or did somebody else?
She
read
does.
it? That's
yeah.
really cool.
She has
I
a
like
beautiful
that.
voice. It's very authentic. I really loved it. And I also listened to a big hit. It's been on my audiobook recommended books for forever, and I didn't really feel like it would be fun enough or something, but it's called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, and it's a therapist telling about her patients, or like her own experience with her therapist. It's very funny and very very interesting also. Like it's not just comedy, but it's so good. I really recommend it.
Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. That's what it's called. That's so cool. Oh, thank you.
No,
Val's dropping all the links. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Gold Digger Podcast and Freelance and Business and Stuff. That's great. I love good book recommendations. And the great thing about Type in Illustrator, you can adjust all of the points, make it perfect.
Yeah, I'm not spending too much time on those because they're really small in the calendar. But small tweaks can be helpful.
Without having to redraw the whole thing. Thanks, Voodoo Val. Maybe you should talk to someone. We have just about 10 minutes until design feedback, so make sure you submit your color-altered photos, color-adjusted. Nora's asking if it's a good thing to have a mentor.
Yeah, I think it's a huge chance if you find someone that you can look up to and who can teach you and push you and challenge you to do things and also guide you whenever you have questions. So I don't know if you can find that within your current job, like your boss or older colleagues. But if you can't, definitely try to join communities. I think The Wing is an amazing community for that. Also, there's this app, Bumble Business.
Bumble Business.
Never really used it, but I think it's nice to find like-minded people who you can share advice with. So yeah, definitely mentors.
Facebook groups have been really helpful too for me. Just sometimes you have a question and you can search in those groups and see if people have asked it before and see what people say, or you can ask a question and people can give feedback. And then communities like Behance too, and even these challenges, you'll be able to get feedback, and anywhere that you can find people who are on the same journey as you, who can push you and, like you said, give feedback to your work. That's super helpful.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So do you want to do December next?
Yeah, let's do December.
We have a few minutes.
Yes.
So December, again, so it's another wintry month, so we're gonna, but it's also holidays and stuff, so.
Yes. I always find it hard to do holidays and Christmas without being cheesy.
Yeah,
Or too
absolutely.
literal. You know, like when people want holiday themed photos, it's really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I'm inspired by. So yeah, like the other day I had a client ask for like a special like holiday media kit, something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to really think of non-cheesy things, and I think just like dark blue instead of green can be
Yes.
nice. Last year I did a project with Kaiser Holidays. Well, Kaiser the bakery.
Oh, yeah.
And we did like a cup for their holiday. Yeah, I did like their holiday cups, and I again like tried to do something that wasn't too cheesy. Can't find it right now. Please load. Yeah, whatever. But
I can look for it while you work.
thank you. But I think also what I'm inspired for December is like, you know, knits and the
Like warmth.
yeah. Oh yeah, what's right up there? Just yeah,
Oh,
that one.
this.
So like for this I didn't want to use too dark green, so I used blue and red and just like small flakes that sort of looked not too cheesy, I guess.
It's loading so slowly.
Yeah, sorry. I think my image
There we
made
go.
it
Yours
cheesy.
is going faster than mine. Mine's still like crawling along.
Thank you. So yeah, just like gold I think is a good color for the
That's
holidays.
Really pretty.
And these flakes. So and it's super simple, but I think it still looks
The red is really nice.
holiday.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's try to do some warm colors.
Okay.
And,
I like those stars that you have in there. That could be fun to incorporate
Yeah.
into the calendar. Maybe.
yeah, that's a good idea. So December.
Yeah, Nora says that those cups make me think of Lindt chocolate boxes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true. So we used a very light blue for January, so maybe I should try something else. I'll use like a yellow, and maybe like if we overlay gold on it, it will look nice.
Yes.
So we could do either pine trees, or that maybe is a bit cliche, or like a stamp of a flake, kind of similar to the seashell, but I'll try to think.
Green and pine leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you guys have more suggestions, that worked out very well with the tulips.
Yeah. These guys are not the easiest to draw, though.
Yes. So, like, detailed.
Yeah.
Pine cones are fun, too.
Yeah, for sure. And they're super graphic if you want to do something simple. Okay, I'll start drawing December, the lettering.
Just a couple more minutes to submit, so make sure you get your Photoshop creative challenges up. You can see. Oh, Marissa says I always love a deep red and gold.
Yeah.
That's really pretty. I like the first image that you have with like the white flowers.
Yeah.
Could be pretty too. I don't know how Christmassy it is, but
Yeah, and the how do you call the
the cool whites and are they magnolias? I can't really see them
I'm
here.
not sure. I'm not good at flowers.
Yeah.
But mistletoe, is that the
mistletoe?
Yeah. Maybe
That could be even a like intermixed with the text.
Yeah. So yeah, does that look
That's-
Christmassy or
Yeah.
holiday? Yeah, we can try something like that. Yeah, I'll try to do maybe.
Especially with the little berries, it looks
Yeah,
very
exactly.
holiday.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to illustrate that and then add the berries as a color.
Mm-hmm.
When I draw it, I don't like it to be too smooth because I think it should really be rough and
Look like drawing,
yeah.
like real drawing. Oh yeah, Narcissus, you could use the shape of snow crystals.
Yeah.
That-
These are so pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't get any snow here in San Francisco.
You don't?
No.
I was gonna ask. Do
No.
you? But their mountains aren't too far if you want to go skiing
No,
or
you
something.
can go. It's not too far away if you want to go. Like even to Tahoe is
Oh wow.
not too far. But yeah, it's not too cold here. Voodoo says you can make the mistletoe a nice greenish blue instead of the traditional Christmas green. That'd be pretty too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love drawing blue in blue too.
One more minute, so submit your work to Discord. Ooh, that's fun. Like electric blue.
Yeah, I love that.
Really pop.
Okay.
So I was asking, how do you build up your confidence as a designer?
Oh, I'm not the right person to ask. No,
It's really hard.
yeah, it's fake it till you make it. Like, yeah, just work hard, and if you work hard, then you have some legitimate knowledge, and you can build your confidence because you know what you're doing. So
Yeah.
I don't really know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think, definitely you're not going to know everything, and that's okay. And you're never going to know everything. So you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And I think, places where you can get feedback is really helpful in building confidence.
Yeah.
Challenges or just asking friends, asking for feedback. Sometimes you feel like your work is terrible, and then someone else looks at it with new eyes and they love it. So,
Yeah.
and
And
I think
you'll
putting yourself out
always-
there before you feel like you're ready.
Yeah, and you'll always be your harshest critic.
Yes.
Like, if you're not confident and stuff, like, most people won't notice much your shortcomings and your mistakes. So, and you live and learn. So, I'm sure you have so much talent. So just go for it.
Well, it is time for, speaking of our challenge, it's time for design feedback.
Awesome.
So we can jump over to that. Yeah, so the challenge for today was to adjust the colors in an image using curves and HSL levels. And if you want to see the demonstration for this, you can watch the replay from earlier this morning. But here's our first one. I wish we could see the before and after, but I think this is the after.
This looks like an epic sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to see the before to really see the difference, but it looks pretty. I think it's nice that the foreground is so dark. It looks like a huge, beautiful contrast, and maybe it would be nice if like the middle, not the complete background, but like maybe closer, like around the beach, it was just a bit lighter, so we can really have
kind
more
of like
depth.
Up.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really interesting.
The colors are so beautiful.
Yeah, it's a perfect gradient.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very Adobe-ish, like this gradient colors.
Yeah, the gradients that are in Photoshop. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know where this was taken, but it's a beautiful landscape.
I know, I'd love to go there. Okay, so here we have a before and after. So this is the before, and then this is after.
Wow. Well, I think it's interesting that it's kind of subtle enough that it looks real. It definitely looks real.
Yeah, you don't want to, especially with saturation and curves, you don't want to push it too far. Because it can start looking fake very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, yeah, like, so this is increased saturation. I think it looks great. Sometimes I like to decrease saturation. So, like, your image has, like, personality and, like, a bit of a, but yeah, dusty feeling. But, yeah, this is really good. I'm impressed at like you said, like, I think they must have saturated the background where, like, the sun is and not touched as much the clouds, which is a really good job. It looks very real.
Yeah. Yeah, you hit the right spot. You didn't go too far. And then we have this one.
Wow.
It's beautiful, too. All these sunsets or sunrises are
That's so cool. I think this is
nice.
It's nice because it's not a typical sunset of, like, yellow and orange and purple. This is more, I love how the blue becomes,
Yeah, and with the blues and the yellows and the greens is so pretty.
Yeah, that's so nice. I like how the sea sort of pops up, like the white edge.
Yeah.
That's very nice. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know where this was taken, but this coast, like, along south of San Francisco is so pretty. I was so impressed. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, again, I think, like, just far enough, like, not too far.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Still have, like, all the blues in here.
And yeah, like there's a touch of blue here that's a reminder of the blue of the sky, which is like a really good technique to make the photo interesting all over.
Yeah, great job. I think that might be all we have for today.
Cool, thank you guys.
Oh, one more. Wait, was this the one? One more.
Oh, okay, so that's almost the same landscape.
Yes.
So they must have really,
the same image, but edited in different ways.
Yeah, again, like, I like how we can see some of the foreground. We still can see the details of the rocks and everything, and, like, the very back is super bright and graduates to like a darker blue. I like how saturated this blue is. It looks like really between day and night.
Yeah, it's like getting like right almost to night.
Yeah, guys did a good job.
Yeah, it's fun to see people edit the same photos different ways too. Like, the colors in this are so different than the other colors, but it works both ways.
Yeah, I wonder if they use, like, they must have masked some parts of the image, which is a great tool. Selected like a certain area to retouch. Yeah,
gives a lot of control over the really areas that you change and the areas you don't. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you for submitting. There will be another Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge tomorrow at 9 Pacific time, and then there will be an XD Daily Creative Challenge right after the stream, so make sure you stay tuned for that. You can learn all about XD and how to use that. So thank you for participating.
Yeah.
All right, we have a few more minutes. We can keep working on this calendar, and if you guys have any more questions for Maude while she's here, make sure to ask them questions about graphic design, about freelancing, about
go ahead.
Photoshop, all the things.
Thank you.
I love this. I love that it's not traditional Christmas colors. But it still feels like holiday special, like.
Yeah.
Let
me know.
I love it.
If it feels holiday enough. I think, like, these can either, like, the little bubbles, either look like fruit or Christmas decorations. You
Yeah, it
can-
could look almost like Christmas lights maybe, but
Yeah, and I can give them some texture.
so adding in like grungy texture.
Yeah, so it's transparent, so I can just, if I change the color of it, it might just work. No. Yeah, we still have, I don't know what's going on with my, yeah, Photoshop is acting weird sometimes.
It happens. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, I just zoom in, does that. I don't know. I must have like left something open or, yeah, it's fine. Okay. I'm not gonna do a color overlay actually. I'm gonna select the texture itself and color it.
Okay.
So for this I do color range, which is one of the best Photoshop tools. This gives me a selection and I can just fill it with the gold.
So it's selecting any pixels that are that color, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was black.
And you don't have anything else black in the scene, so.
Yeah, and if you do, you can just either select the area and then it will select only within this area,
Yeah.
or just select a layer.
Yeah, yeah. Christian says, greetings from Ecuador. That's so fun.
Yeah,
Ecuador.
welcome.
I would
I've
love
never
to
been.
visit. Yeah,
would
me
love
neither.
to. Ooh.
There we go.
It's organizing layers and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's erase some of the December so that the leaves are on top of it and stuff.
Okay. Beautiful. What are your favorite projects to work on? Like, because you do packaging and you do web design.
Yeah, I think,
logos.
yeah, what I love the most is really working with a brand who really like needs to completely rebrand or starts
kind
from
of
scratch.
all like areas.
Yeah, I think it's nice to sort of create the world yourself. So that involves usually branding and web design and sometimes packaging or like other
that's
types
right.
of collateral, like
Or sell
any
products.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, like really being a partner for the brand and sort of bringing their vision to life. It's very satisfying and super, it's super gratifying.
That's really fun.
Totally.
Greetings from Serbia.
Oh,
Sandra
wow.
says. That's so cool. I love that this community brings people from all over the world and everyone lives in different places, different cultures, but we all have this one interest all together, and that's
Yeah, for sure.
so unifying.
Yeah, and like
Philippines.
design is different in different parts of the world. And
It is, yeah. You can learn from like design in so many different areas. I think that's really cool to like see what people are doing in other countries and be inspired by that. Paloma says, I love the cohesiveness of this calendar.
Thank you. Yeah, it's over
That's
12
really
months. It's not going to
challenging.
be that easy to keep it cohesive, but it's the goal for sure.
And even simple elements like how you're intermixing the text with the illustrations and like that carrying over to all of the months. I think little subtle things like that people may or may not notice that will help make it cohesive is little details are important.
Yeah, and maybe like the color palette shouldn't be too, well, even if it's like pretty varied across the different month, like the tone of the color can feel related
the feelings
still.
of the color, the tone. Tone's a good word. Will kind of feel in the same family.
Do you do any like special products for the holidays or anything that you offer your clients or?
No, I mean, sometimes companies will want specific
Yeah.
holiday photos, especially for ads.
It must be a busy time of year for you.
It can be, but it usually happens earlier. So, like, we're shooting holiday images in October, you know?
Oh, okay.
Because once December hits, it's a little bit late as far, like, it
Yeah,
takes,
for sure.
yeah, the time that it takes to, like, plan and execute and deliver the images. December is kind of too late for that. Even November is kind of too late for that.
Yeah.
Unless we rush it. So,
Yeah, good point.
yeah, so usually we're kind of always ahead of whatever the season is.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, do you do any special holiday things?
Not really. I mean, I want to do products like this calendar or like posters that people can buy to
Yeah.
gift.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the.
Yeah, you have a whole shop on your site too. We didn't even talk about that. Can I show that?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me show. Oh, it might take a second.
Oh yeah. I'm
There you
sorry. Yeah, you can.
It's
click
the
on the
internet.
link.
It's not you. Yeah, if you go to modepazzini.com, you can click she has a shop. You can see all of her beautiful posters and her totes. I love this tote.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so fun. So fun.
So again, like it's a great way to practice for yourself, but also like make it available and like a good selling point for.
It's a really good like passive income stream too, right? Well, passive in the sense that like once you create it, it can live here long term. You don't really have to do much with it after it's.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's what I'm aiming for.
Diversifying your income is super important as a freelancer.
Yeah.
So when you have slow seasons, you still have some income coming in. I think that's really important.
Totally.
Nora says, what if we made a calendar with 5 days of weekends and 2 days of work?
I wish. Good.
That'd be
Good idea.
so fun. Yes, and we only have a couple minutes left, so if you have any last questions, make sure to ask them. Fatima's asking how you added the texture into the circles. Do you want to go over that one more time?
So the texture that I have is, I'll go to the texture directly. So it's this texture that I scanned a while ago. I created it by like photocopying like black swatches or just making a mess basically.
Yeah.
Then you scan it and I removed any white, so it's just this black PNG. And then on the calendar itself, I selected the black so that it became gold. I basically like filled any black selection with gold, and then I applied it to the circles. And for this, I created a mask where it only shows the tiny circles.
Yeah.
So that's how it happens. Yeah, like the mask tool, I use it all the time. Because yeah, like we said, it's a non-definite way to hide or show something. So I think I'm satisfied with December right now.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Andrew's asking if it would be good to design the whole calendar in one color palette and then change the colors later. Like you could use one color and then after it's all designed, you could add in like a color palette and apply it to different parts.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea because it will, you would make sure that the colors are super consistent. It's a good way to do. I think I was just like letting myself be inspired here, and but there's many different ways to do it.
Yeah.
So I think I designed it all upside down. That's why my Zoom was acting weird.
Oh, okay, that makes way more sense.
I knew it was like something like that. So I'll just
something is wrong. Because you flipped the canvas, huh? When you when you were writing the letters. That's funny.
Thank you. So this is gonna be upside down. Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe it's not super centered, but I can refine that later.
Yeah.
I would like to do like a really. I can do. I like to do August or something really warm.
Okay, let's do it.
Or I mean, and unless anyone, or maybe we could do February and it's more like a
But you
Valentine's
did
Day.
too.
Yeah.
Winter.
April.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
that's
totally
true.
up to you. That Valentine's Day would be really fun too, but
Yeah, let's do something warm for now
Okay.
because we did December.
something warm. We have about 10 minutes.
Perfect.
May is a good month too. But we just did spring, so.
Yeah, I might not be as inspired. Like you could see my spring mood board was like 2 photos. So.
You need
But,
to
well,
find some more
which
inspiration.
is crazy because it's such a nice time of year for sure. But okay, August. I can't do blue again. Yeah, maybe I should like limit the background colors to just a few colors. So I'll try to do the same. I'll do a dark blue,
Okay.
light blue. Sorry.
The same as
see.
January.
Yeah, and I'll try to. Yeah, if I want the exact reference for January, I'll just grab it in the file.
Sure.
But right now, I think it's fine.
Lots of Mrs. Fab February. February.
Feb.
Jennifer's asking, how do you prepare when you're on a tight schedule? Or I guess, how do you like make sure you get all your work done? If you're...
Wow, yeah, that's a struggle.
Yeah.
When you're on your own and like your time is unlimited because you could work all the time and you don't want to say no to things. It can be really hard, but and you don't want to rush anything. That was really a struggle for me at first. Like I knew I could take on a lot of work, but I felt bad if I rushed anything, obviously. So for me, I have a designer helping me part-time and she's amazing. So I'll make sure that I'm super organized, that she helps on what needs done the most quickly.
Yes, yeah.
I think, hiring outside help is super helpful, obviously. And otherwise, just sort of do a reverse schedule of like, you'll know how much time you'll spend on each thing and just organize your day like that. And for me, like it always works out. Like it's always like I stress out too much and it in the end, like I have more time than I sort of anticipated, so which is a good thing because I sort of planned for more than I have, I guess.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
It always works out, but just don't spread yourself too thin. Ask for help if you need, and stay super organized to make sure that you don't have too much. But I think it's a problem that's never really going to be solved for freelancers. Like, if you don't want to say no to things, then you're going to have to work later and do more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you guys work from home at first and then had your own studio?
Yeah, we were working in my house. All of our equipment was in my garage.
Oh, wow.
And then we would either rent studios to shoot in or rent lights to set up in my living room.
Wow.
Until we got our studio. So we'd work in coffee shops too sometimes if we were just doing admin work. But, yep. Yeah, you do what you can do and with what you have.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. Richard's asking if you bring your roots to your work, so maybe like your French roots. Do you feel like that kind of shows up in your work?
I think it's like not even intentionally, it probably does. Like sometimes people or clients finding interesting that I come from Europe, so I have like a different point of view or like a different experience, and I studied in France and in Paris, which is like very specific for graphic design, and there's a big history of art, obviously, like any place in the world. But I mean, like, it's different in every place too. So it can be an asset, but I try. I mean, I'm very, very inspired by New York and like the people that I've met and the work that I've done, like the studio that I worked out. I worked at before, like I learned so much from them, and which I think were like some specifically American things, and it's so fascinating. So I try to be flexible, yet like I think it's very enriching to have a a diverse background, I
Oh
guess.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, it's fun. Yeah, so I guess we could do palm leaves.
Oh, those leaves that we were talking about
Yeah.
yesterday. What are they called again?
Oh, Monstera leaves?
yeah, that could be fun. Kind
We
of
should do that.
jungly.
Yeah, totally. Love that.
I love those leaves. Yes, it's such a fun shape.
And again, I'm gonna try and make it more my style, so I can just like trace roughly, and so
Yeah.
it will look like the leaf,
A
but
loose reference.
not too, like,
Get the general shape, but then apply your style to it.
yeah, it's okay if it's not exactly what you see on the photo.
Yeah, probably better.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
then it's you. It's so interesting. So we got one of these plants for our studio, and when the leaves grow, they're like rolled up.
Oh,
And then if they don't get enough sun, they don't unroll. But if they get sun, then they like open up, and then they open up and they're not split. And then in the sun, they like they
that would be so
split.
cute.
Yeah, isn't that so
Wow.
interesting? It's so cool to watch them grow.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I didn't know anything about them until we got one.
Yeah.
And then yeah, they develop the little holes and stuff and make them unique.
Yeah, I love that. It's so
Mhm.
pretty.
It's really cute. We have just a couple more minutes, so any last questions, make sure to ask them. We're almost done. So sad. It went by so fast.
It did.
It
Yeah, I
flew
think,
by.
yeah.
Thank you so much for all your advice.
Oh,
and
my pleasure. But yeah,
it's
thank you
been
for
so fun
joining.
to learn from you.
So do we already have
Ooh.
too much dark green? Oh, well, this, if I do blue, it's going to be too similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
We have some green here. Maybe I can do green. I'm gonna try and make some adjustments to the texture so it looks even more papery.
Okay. Inaja is asking if you think a beginner should do work for free.
No, you can do cheaper, but I don't think
Yeah.
you need to work for free. Like, even if you're a beginner, you still have knowledge that your client doesn't
Yeah.
have, so people should pay for that knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
The one case where it's okay to do work for free, I think, is if you have time. Like, if you have a free schedule, then maybe it's okay. And if it's like something that you really, really care about and is going to bring you a lot of exposure and stuff. But like, if people say, oh, it will bring you exposure, I think it's fine if I don't pay you, then it's a no-no. Like, if
Yeah.
it's you decide if it's going to reward you enough in other ways. But
yeah,
I don't
you can't
think you
eat
need to
from
work for free.
exposure.
No, exactly. It doesn't pay
Yeah.
your rent.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I don't think you need to work for free. You're qualified, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, where are people going to be able to see this calendar when it's done? Is it going to go on your site, on your Behance, or?
All of them, I guess.
All of them.
I'll definitely post updates on my Instagram regularly to, like I said, I'm going to post each month or a bundle of months regularly.
Throughout the year,
Throughout
next
the year.
year.
So stay tuned. I'll put the link in my Instagram, and then it's for sure going to be it's probably going to be somewhere on my Behance and website. So you can
Great.
talk to me there.
Yes, go follow Maude on Behance and on her Instagram so you can see all of her work and see this calendar when it's finished. And thank you guys so much for joining us today. Make sure you stay tuned for the XD Daily Creative Challenge and then the XD stream with Fabio right after that. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye, guys. Thank you.